How did you meet your guys? Did y'all all grow up together? Did y'all go to school together? Were any of y'all related?
Well, those three live, you know, in close proximity of each other, so they kind of knew each other. Like I think Carl met Damon at like 5'6", and Jay met him at like 8 or 9 or something like that. I didn't meet those cats till I got into high school. I was a little further away, but my my um my family lived throughout Hollis, St. Albans, and in that whole little Queens Village area. So I was always somewhere around there. But I met those guys in co-op in the co-op program in school, and it was crazy because I got to high school and it was a little different than junior high school. So I was walking around and I was like, oh, I can leave and nobody's gonna say anything to me. There's no dean running around here trying to pull me into his office. Oh, I'm out. So I was cutting school a lot in the 10th grade, and when I got that report card, I basically failed everything that year. And my mom's, and then I heard about this program. I said, your mom, you know what? I can go to work and I could get paid. You ain't got to take care of me. Let's you know, sign me up for this class, and she did, and then that's why I met those guys.
Oh, wow, that's what's up. Now, were y'all initially talking about fashion at that level, or is that something that came later? And what was the struggle for y'all? Was it financial, or getting material, or having connections?
Nah, we didn't talk about fashion until we got about maybe 3 years later. Um, Damon had came up with this idea of loving this tie top hat, which to me was the ugliest hat ever, and I was the hat guy out of the crew because none of them really wore hats like that. They would wear a hat for a couple of hours or whatever, or take it off. They wouldn't really. I was wearing hats every day, and this was my choice of hat. So when he came and told me that ugly ass tie top hat, I was like, I ain't gonna wear it. I hope you work on it, but. So I think I got my sister to pose in one of his ads that he did in the beginning, and this was kind of before we even hooked up. He didn't need us at that point. He was just doing something on his own, and then he put the ad out, did these hats, and was kind of doing it on his own, and then it didn't really fly like that, and he stopped a couple of years, and then he came back to it, and then he started doing other things, and then when Jay came back from the service, Jay was like, yo, we can really do something with this, and this doesn't have to be about a hat. Like, we can make a whole collection, and nobody was even thinking about a whole collection at that point. So when he invested his money and we started getting the materials and doing all of that stuff, then we was like, okay. Then we started making regular hats, and we started doing regular things like you know hockey jerseys and sweatshirts and things like that. Then I was like, okay, now we look like we're going somewhere. Now we look like a clothing line. So after we did that, financially, we was strapped, um, not having enough knowledge in the business to figure things out the way they needed to be figured out. And so we blew through that money buying the wrong materials, buying flame materials that was catching fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know anything about that. But we worked on it for years and years and years. And then one year, we went to the magic show. And once we went to the magic show, we was able to get, the funding, not even the funding, we was able to get the orders to get the funding. And once we got the deal with Samsung, and that was maybe about 6, 7, 8 months later, then we was on it rocking at that point.
Oh, okay, man. I appreciate you sharing that. If you could go into it a little bit, when you connected with Samsung, like what level did that take y'all to having that financial back, and what were y'all able to do at that point that y'all really couldn't, get into before that?
Um, nah, we had a financial back, and it was everything was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we didn't have to worry. We had a office in the Empire State Building. Um, once we went in there with our partners, and then us and our partners, you know, sold I think it was like 5 million. We had to sell $5 million the first 3 years to get our name back, and to keep control of our name rather, and or else pay back that $5 million. And what we did was we sold $5 million that first season, and I think it was like $30 million the next season. And once we did that, it was over. They was like, these guys know what they're doing. Let's open the floodgates for them, and that's pretty much what they did. And we we went out there and we did our thing.
Man, that's amazing, man. That's truly inspiring. Now I was reading this online. I don't know how true it is, but they were saying at one point you guys grossed over 350 million with the brand.
Yeah, that was a few years later. Because what we did was we opened up different territories and licensees. We were doing men's. I think we were doing over 100 million with our men's alone. Then we opened up ladies. Then we had kids. Then we had shoes. Then we had accessories, and we had sleepwear, loungewear, sneakers, boots. Like, it was so much stuff that we had. All of that stuff was combined, and we were making over $350 million a year.
Wow, wow. Because I kind of remember when FUBU first came out. I remember seeing the T-shirts. It was like the FB. Then it went to the jersey. Then y'all came with Platinum FUBU, the Muhammad Ali, the Fat
Mhm.
Hour. Like it was just growing and growing. Like you say, y'all had the whole wardrobe. So that was amazing for sure.